Now that we've completed PBL1, we're going to save a report card or a grade report for each of our students into a Google Drive. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up your Schoology. If you go to your MySpring ISD account, you click on the very top line, you'll be able to see your Schoologies in the default and open up your Schoology. Make sure you're logged in. You'll go to Empowered Learning at Home. And you'll click on your grade level. Click on PBL1. And then we're going to want to make sure that each of our assignments, we want to check that all of our students' work has been graded in each assignment. You can't print a report for a student if they still have work that you have not graded. So I click on my first assignment, come over here, and I'm going to go to grade 4 because these are 4th grade. And what I can do is I can just click on where it says received. I can click on the arrow and click on needs grading. And I'm going to look and see if any of my homeroom have anything listed here. So none of my homeroom have anything listed, so I can move on to the next one. If I just click the next button, it'll take me right to the next assignment. Get to my 4th grade again, and then again click on the arrow, hit needs grading, and double check that none of my homeroom are listed. I'm going to do that for all of my assignments all the way through PBL1. I've already checked and all of my students' work has been graded for PBL1, so now I'm good. And I'm going to move over and go to Gradebook. This seems to take a little while to download and to bring everything up. Once you get to the gradebook, you'll wait for it to upload, and then you will go in and click which grade you're in. Alright, once it's all uploaded, we're going to go over and select the grade. So I was working in 4th grade. Now it's going to show me every single 4th grader, so I'm going to need to go through and pick out my students, my homeroom. Each teacher is going to be responsible for uploading the grades for students in their homeroom. So once it's opened up, I can see the grades, and I'm going to go over to these 3 little dots right here. I'm going to click on them, and I'm going to click Print Reports. It's already going to have selected the marking period for us, and then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to find my student. So it's in order by last names, but you'll also see the first name, and unfortunately this pulls up every student in the entire building, no matter what grade you pick. So here's one of my students, but I already did her so far, so I'm going to keep going to my next student. Click on that student and click Generate Report. I want to do it student by student because I need them each to have their own report. Once I get here, I can right click on the screen and hit Print, or I can use Control P and it'll bring up Print. So if you'll see over here on my destination, I've already got it listed, but if you open up your printer selections and scroll down, if you don't see it, just hit See More, and you're going to want to find the one that says Save as a PDF. So you're not actually going to print them out at home, you're going to save them as a PDF, but you do that through the print function. Once you click Save, it's going to give you the option to name it. I like to save them all in one folder. I'm going to use my desktop so I can just pull them all quickly. And I'm going to save them by last name and first name. Click Save. That one is done. I suggest doing all of your students here at once. I could just hit the back button. Just takes a moment to load. This process isn't difficult, but it is time consuming. Click the 3 buttons again, 3 little dots, Print Reports. And then I'll go and find my next student. The next one I have will start with a C, so I'm getting down to the C's. There's my next student. I'll generate a report. I like to use Control P, but you can right click on the screen. Saved PDF is already here. Save. And the student's last name, first name. Again, I'm saving to my desktop. Okay, I showed you how to go through and find each individual student and print out the report. I'd like to show you a way to do it in a little, I feel like it's a little bit quicker. It's just another way to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm opened up to the gradebook just like before, clicking again once more on the three dots, hit print reports. I'm going to wait for it to bring up all the students' names. This time, instead of just clicking on one name, I'm going to go through and find all my students and click on all my students' names that I see. So it takes a moment. Since I've already done a few, I'm going to skip the ones that I've already done. So I'm going to scroll down to the C's. I know that's where I left off. I'm right here. And I'm going to go through and kind of quickly try to grab some of mine. I know that I don't have anyone else until I get to an E. Okay, and I would go through here and grab all of the students at once, but I'm going to stop with 3 just for time. And now that I've got several of my students, I'm going to hit generate. I encourage you to go through and get each of your students. Now click generate report, and it's going to bring up a report of everyone that you clicked. And it's going to look like this. It's going to look kind of all jumbled and messy. But when you go to report it, to reprint it, it splits it up. So I could either right click on the screen and hit print, or Control P. And it's gone back to the save as a PDF, but if yours doesn't, go down and click save as PDF as your printer. And if you'll see that it's split up, it gives a page break in between. So my first student right here, she's on pages 1 and 2. So I only want to print that person's report first. So I go to where it says pages, and I'm going to click on all, hit custom, and I just want pages 1 and 2. 1 and 2 to be saved. I don't have to wait for it to finish loading the preview. I'm just going to click save, and I am going to save the student's work. Last name, first name, and save. It's going to close that out, but it's not a big deal because I still have that time part where it had to go through and generate the report. I still have that up. So either right click and print, or Control P. And now I know I've already used pages 1 and 2, so I'm done with my first student. I'll just scroll down and I see page 3. When I kind of look, there's nothing on page 4, so I'm just going to use page 3 for my next student. And if you can't see it, you can zoom in by either opening your fingers up a little bit, or you can hit Control and the plus sign and it'll zoom in a little for you. I like to just use my fingers like it's an iPad and open it up and zoom in to see my student's name. So if you see when I'm right here, when I come onto it, it shows me what page I'm on page 3. So I'm going to go to custom, page 3, hit save, and then I'm going to save it by last name, first name. And I'm just saving all of my students to one file, and I'm using my desktop so I can grab them all at once. I'm using my desktop because my desktop didn't have anything else on it that was blocking it. So, and then I have one more time. I'm going to either hit right click and hit print, or Control P. I've used pages 1, 2, and 3. Page 4 was blank, so I'm going to move down to the next student on page 5. And I see they're only on page 5, so I'm going to go to page 5. Pages, I'm going to hit custom, page 5, save. Last name, first name. Save. I think that was all the students that I pulled over on this report. Yeah. Okay, so let's say that I've gone through all my students and now I have everybody saved into my desktop. I think it's easier to grab everybody at once. So you've either gone student by student, or you've made a giant report and grabbed everyone, and you've gone through and just saved it by page numbers. Either way, whatever works best for you. Once you have them all saved into a file, it's time to go into your Google Drive. This drive will be shared with you. And let me get back to the beginning. Okay, it'll be labeled Hirsch Project-Based Learning Gradebook. All right, when you get here, you're going to see that there's a folder for every grade level. I'm going to go to 4th grade. And under 4th grade, there'll be each of the teachers in 4th grade. They'll each have their own folder. And then I go and find my name. Sorry, my computer is going slow today. And then under my name, I will find PBL1, the folder here. When you come back for PBL2, you can just create a new folder. But I've already done it for you for this one. Click on the PBL1 and open up that. Once you open up PBL1, it'll be blank. Mine has one student's work already saved in it. So there are a couple different ways that you can save work inside this folder. Once you open up the folder, you can click on New and tell it you want to upload a file. So then you're going to go to wherever you've stored your file at, and you can click on all of these files and upload them. So if I click on this one, and then I can hit Control, and I can click on the next one, or I can click on my first one and hit Shift and take them all in there. I'm going to do everyone but the last one. I'm going to show you a different way as well. So I've hit Shift and I've clicked on the first one. Holding down the Shift button, I clicked on the last one and it grabbed everything, and then I'm going to hit Open. And it's going to start downloading these files into it. If you'll see right here, it's uploading 5 items. And as each item is uploaded, it's going to get a green check mark next to it. So right now it's starting the upload. So it finished the first one. And now they're all uploaded. You can exit out of that. And then you've got them uploaded. There's one other way to do this. You can click on your folder. Minimize it so it's a little bit smaller. Go to whatever folder you've saved them in. I left this last one off, so I'm still opening my file here. Sorry, let me minimize that again. And I'm just going to click and drag it. I can also do that. So I can select everything and click and drag them, whichever way works best for you. As soon as you get that green check mark, you are good, and everything will be saved in the folder for all of your students' work. If you have any questions, email me. Let me know. I'll help you. Remember, the number one thing is you've got to make sure you've graded all of the work that they have submitted before you print their grade reports out. Save them in the folders that have been labeled with your name in Project-Based Learning 1. Again, any questions, let me know. I'm here to help.